Okay, imagine this. Like a whisper, maybe from an old well, hinting at something hidden, something fantastical just under the surface of your normal day. Welcome, everyone, to Iranian Things.
This is our 143rd deep dive. I'm Ten Naz.
And I'm Kiyu Mars. We're the ones who, dig into those lesser-known bits of Iran, folklore, myths, even the occasional cryptozoology rumor that catches our eye.
And today, well, you've brought us a really gripping one. It's a folk tale, a real journey.
Definitely. It's got betrayal, quite a bit of courage, and a surprisingly resourceful young hero.
Exactly. We're diving into the story of a brother and sister, a pretty terrifying yellow div, a quest for some magical grapes.
And the amazing rise of this boy named Altin Toop.
Yeah, and we're working directly from an excerpt of the tale itself, this pasted text we found.
Right. So our mission today, for all of you listening, is to follow this wild story, sure, but also to maybe unpack some of the moral lessons hiding in there and look at the symbols that keep popping up.
Okay, so where does it all begin? The setup is quite simple, almost peaceful at first.
Yeah, it starts with his brother and sister. They have this routine, right? He goes hunting.
And she meets him in the evening. They share the food. It feels very self-contained, just the two of them.
It paints a picture of closeness, maybe isolation too. You immediately sense that this harmony is, well, fragile.
And it breaks pretty dramatically. The sister hears a sound. From the well?
Well, such an everyday thing. But in these stories, they're often like portals, aren't they? Gateways to somewhere else.
Precisely. And what she does is interesting. She lowers her shadow down, this, symbol of her daily life.
And pulls up.
Not water, but this monstrous yellow div. It's a sudden shock, this intrusion of the supernatural, the malevolent, right into their ordinary world.
Chilling. And it gets darker fast. The div doesn't just pop up and say hello.
No, he forces her to become his wife. So now she's living this terrifying secret life whenever her brother's away hunting, we know, but the brother is completely clueless.
That dramatic irony is heavy. You just feel the tension build. What is that forced marriage signal, do you think? About power.
Oh, absolutely. Vulnerability versus overwhelming sort of monstrous power. And it sets up all the deception to come. Because then the div gives her instructions.
Right. The next layer. He tells her to pretend she's sick. Really sick.
Uh-huh. And the only cure, supposedly, are these very specific grapes.
Grapes from the white div's garden. It's such a manipulation, playing on the brother's love for her to get him out of the way.
Exactly. Why white grapes, though? Is there a specific meaning there?
That's a good question. The text doesn't spell it out, but white often means purity, healing. Maybe the div is twisting that symbol, using a cure for his own ends.
Could be. It definitely sends the brother on a classic hero's quest. He has to find this rare magical item.
He doesn't hesitate. He goes off to face the white div for these grapes. A proper quest.
But it's not just the white div, is it? There's another obstacle.
Yeah, after he deals with the white div, he runs into a black div. And this one's guarding watermelons.
A watermelon garden. It's such a specific, almost random detail, but it adds to this world building. Maybe these divs have territories. And the color symbolism, again, black for darkness.
The brother, though, he's unstoppable. Takes down the black div too, gets the grapes, and heads home, mission accomplished. His devotion is clear.
Totally. But back home, the consequence of the sister's secret marriage can't be hidden anymore. She has a child, Altin Toop.
And the brother, bless him, does something really compassionate. He steps up.
He does. To protect his sister, protect the child, he pretends he just found the baby.
Yeah, he claims he found this little maple plump and cute kid and names him Altin Toop. Golden ball, golden top. It's kind, but it's built on a secret.
And secrets in these tales, they tend to unravel, don't they? Altin Toop grows up, maybe 15, 16 years old. Things seem okay.
Uh-oh. But then
the yellow div comes back, and he's not there for a happy family reunion. He wants the brother gone. Permanently.
This is the really dark twist.
Yeah.
He tells his sister, no, he demands that she poison her own brother.
The torment she must be going through. Trapped between this monster and the brother who's been nothing but kind. The story says the div forced her. She has no choice.
It's horrific. But then, like you often see, fate steps in. Or maybe just luck.
Young Altin Toop. He's behind a curtain and overhears the whole terrible plan. That single moment changes everything. He goes from being a kid to being the hero.
He doesn't mess around either. He acts fast.
He sees the poisoned food meant for his uncle and thinks quickly. He tests it.
On the dog. And the poor animal dies. It's brutal confirmation.
Imagine the brother seeing that. He sees the poisoned food, the dead dog, but he doesn't know why. He doesn't know about the div. the coercion.
In his grief and rage.
He kills his sister. It's just tragic, a complete misunderstanding fueled by the div's evil.
Absolutely heartbreaking, but the truth has to come out.
And it does. Altin Toop, the boy, steps up and tells his uncle everything. What he heard, the test with the dog, the whole awful truth.
That must have been an incredibly difficult moment. But it changes everything again. Their grief turns into, well, a mission.
Revenge. United by loss, they hunt down the yellow div.
And they succeed. They find him, confront him, and kill him. Justice of a sort. Closure for that part of the story.
But it's not the end for them. They need a new start, maybe. They move away.
Up to a mountaintop, taking turns keeping watch. A lonely existence, perhaps.
Seems like it. And during Altin Toop's watch, something weird happens. One of the candles near his uncle just goes out.
Strange. So he investigates.
Yeah, he sees a light in the distance and goes to check it out. And he finds, well, it's almost funny after all the darkness.
What is it?
40 guys, sharab car, wine drinkers, basically having a party but completely failing to lift a big pot of pilar. They're drunk and useless.
Ah, that's quite a scene change. So what does Altin Toop do?
He just walks in, pushes them aside, easily lifts the pot, sets it down for them, relights his candle from their fire, and takes an apple.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Helps him out and takes an apple.
Okay. A seemingly small act, but that apple, it becomes important. The revelers, maybe a bit sheepish, tell their leader, the Saki, about this strong, helpful kid.
The Saki, the one pouring the drink.
Yeah. And he's intrigued. He tells them, go find that boy and bring him to me.
Meanwhile, Altin Toop is heading back to his uncle with the apple.
Right. But the 40 guys catch up to him and take him to the Saki. And the Saki sees something in Altin Toop, maybe his strength, his nerve.
And makes him an offer?
A big one. He says, let's rob the king's treasury.
Whoa. Okay, that's a shift from avenging family to grand larceny.
It is. It shows a different side of Altin Toop. Maybe ambition, maybe just seeing an opportunity. And surprisingly,
he agrees.
He agrees. He's in, which takes us right into the palace.
High stakes now. He gets inside, finds the king's daughters asleep, and he does something symbolic.
Very symbolic. He puts an apple on the younger princess's chest with a note. If you are my destiny, I will take you myself. Bold statement.
Extremely bold. Then he does the same for the older princess.
Puts an apple on her chest, but the note says, if it is destiny, I will take you for my uncle. He's thinking of his uncle too, even in this crazy plan.
Wow. That apple motif again. Connection, destiny. And then he spots trouble.
Big trouble. In the king's room, a scorpion is crawling towards the sleeping king's mouth.
No, so Altin Toop jumps in.
Instantly. Kills the scorpion, saves the king's life. Another heroic act, done in secret.
And then he does something else strange. He swaps daggers. His for the king's.
Yeah, he takes the king's dagger and leaves his own. What do you make of that? A claim? A bond? Proof?
It's loaded with meaning. Maybe all the above.
Yeah.
Like leave his mark showing he was there, that he protected the king.
Could be. So after saving the king and leaving messages for the princesses, he deals with his partners. He leads the 40 revelers to the palace wall, kills them, one by one as they try to climb over. Ruthless.
Okay, that's efficient. Is he cutting ties?
Protecting
the king? Or just eliminating witnesses?
It raises questions about him for sure, but the immediate result is, come morning, there's chaos at the palace, dead bodies everywhere.
The king wakes up to find a dead scorpion, his dagger swapped, dead guys outside. He must be furious and confused.
Definitely. He orders a full investigation. Who did this? Why?
And Altin Toop eventually steps forward.
He does. He tells the king the entire story. Everything. The div, his sister, the quest, the poisoning plot, the revenge, the revelers, the scorpion, the apples, the daggers, all of it.
That takes guts, laying it all out for the king.
And the king listens and believes him, apparently. He sees the truth, the bravery, the sheer craziness of it all.
So how does the king react? What's the resolution?
He completely rewards Altin Toop, recognizes his actions, his loyalty, maybe his potential.
He gives him the younger daughter. Like the note predicted.
Exactly. Marriage to the younger princess, and honoring Altin Toop's note, he gives the elder daughter to the uncle.
Wow. And then?
Then the ultimate reward. The king names Altin Toop his heir, gives him the throne.
From orphan nephew hunted by a div to king. What a journey.
Incredible transformation. So, stepping back from the plot, what are the big takeaways? The moral lessons?
Well, betrayal, obviously. Its consequences are devastating. Even forced betrayal, like the sisters.
True. But then you have courage, The brothers' quest, Altin Toop facing down danger again and again, resourcefulness, too.
Definitely. And, I mean, the whole story is about the unexpected rise of someone who seemed powerless, right? Alton Toop's arc is amazing.
Absolutely. And the symbols we kept noticing, the well as a gateway to danger.
The colors of the divs, yellow, white, black, maybe signifying different kinds of evil or challenges.
The apples as tokens of fate, of connection.
The dagger exchange power, protection, identity.
And inheriting the throne as the ultimate symbol of changed destiny. It really makes you think, doesn't it? We encourage everyone listening to think about their own interpretations, too.
Yeah, definitely. So we really hope you enjoyed that deep dive into the world of Alton Toop. It was quite the ride.
It really was a great example of how Iranian folklore mixes darkness and heroism, tragedy, and really unexpected twists.
If you found this fascinating, please do subscribe to Iranian Things if you haven't already. Leave us a comment. What did you think of the story? And maybe give this deep dive a like. It helps others find us.
And do check out our playlist. We have lots more explorations of Iranian culture, myths, and legends waiting for you there.
So we'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. Considering Alton Toop, all the things that just happened to him versus the choices he made, how much do you think is destiny? And how much is our own drive, our own actions, for shaping our lives? Not just in stories, but, for real. Something to think about.